Hey guys, staying with Fox Airsoft here, and today we're going to talk about the new releases from Elite Force and VFC. These are going to be the classic M4 looking guns, but with the newest guts, the Avalon internals. Before I start though, I want to point you out to our contest going on right now. We just announced it. This is going to be for the ASG Archwick Mark 13 series sniper rifle. It's very expensive, very high-end sniper rifle, probably the best out there that I've seen so far. If you want to win one for free, you can sign up on our link below. It's open to US and Canadian residents. All right, let's get into the gun itself. So the one I have here is the SOPMOD M4. This one's based on the normal looking M4 that's been issued out to the military over the years. Doesn't look that crazy on the outside. You've probably seen this gun before, but what's different about this one and the other VFCs like it right now, this features the Avalon internals now, so you get that classic look, but with the newest guts inside. So talking about the inside first, you have the current Avalon generation gearbox, which has a MOSFET and quick change spring system. So if you don't know anything about VFC and their gearboxes, they're probably some of my favorite ones out there for a couple reasons. One is they use standard normal parts in there, so if you wanted to upgrade it down the line or replace it, any failed components or anything like that down the line, you have that option. You don't have to strain or stress too hard about finding parts to get it up and going. As far as the build quality goes, the tolerances and build quality both inside and out are probably some of the best I've ever seen. That's what makes it some of my favorite guns out there. One of the key features that they have is the quick change spring system. I will say it's not the most intuitive. You still have to get the gun apart and take the gearbox out of the body. So in all honesty, the quick change is not the fastest out there, but many of them are just like this. So I just want to make you aware that even though it says quick change, it's not always the quickest. As far as the other parts go, like I said, the air seal is probably the most top-notch part about it. Has an improved piston and the VFC self-shimming gears. They haven't moved away from that. Then you have the MOSFET, which is a non-programmable but a protective MOSFET. If you don't know what the MOSFET's for, is on certain more expensive airsoft guns, you'll get a MOSFET which protects the trigger contacts from burning out. When you do a lot of semi-auto, especially with high voltage batteries, you create a spark inside the gearbox for their switch assembly, and those typically burn out the contacts over time. Problem with that is when it gets to that point, you're gonna have to pay someone or do it yourself to open up the entire gun, take apart the gearbox, either clean the contacts or replace the contacts. With a MOSFET, it minimalizes that so that you don't have to worry about that particular component. So that's pretty much the inside there. The motor, of course, is a very standard VFC one. I always found them to be performing very well. So moving it to the barrel system, you have a brass barrel from VFC that's a 6.03 tight bore and decent bucking. These have been probably the more accurate guns out of the box, even down to the really small MP7 they make. Short barrel there, not a lot of FPS, but even from that gun, it's super accurate all the way up to guns of this size. So out of the box, I wouldn't have to mess with that. So it's a really accurate shooting gun out of the box. Now, when we're talking about the outside, I absolutely like the externals here. So everything's got a nice finish to it. You have an aluminum type metal receiver here. You have a single mid cap that it comes with, so you'll need a loader. Nice rail system that's solid, it doesn't wobble. On the real thing, actually, it probably wobbles more, which is ironic. You have a nice finish on the barrel there and a metal flash hider. Then you have a crane stock. This is the style that's known as the crane stock, not just the term we use generically. And you can store the battery in here. You also have a steel metal sling plate, so you can mount your single point sling. And you have a detachable rear sight. One of the features of the VFCs is the locking bolt catch. You pull the handle back, it should lock back, exposes the rotary dial hop up there so you can adjust it. And then you can close that by pressing the bolt release. And there you go. You can close it when you're done. One thing I do want to mention, this is a metal flash hider. Some people get curious about the flash hider having this weird chip here. That's not a damage, or that's not a flaw or damage to that. We always get emails about that. That's actually modeled after a real nice flash hider. It's to interface with a quick detached suppressor there, so no, your gun's not broken. Aside from this SOPMOD model, there's also the Block 2 railed model, which has a Daniel Defense type rail system. There's also a Mark 18, so if you want something a little bit newer style, you could do that. If you're looking for something to build a particular kit around, especially if you're like me who likes to run military style looking loadouts from the early 2000s to recent times, this might be the gun for you. All right, guys, that does it for me today. As I said, this gun's a very beautiful, very solid gun. I personally run one myself majority of the time, so take it for what it's worth. Now, if you guys want to help us out, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate if you guys send our videos and blogs to your friends too, share them. Help us out a lot, gives us a reason to do what we do and make more content for you. All right, guys, appreciate your time. I'm Tang from Fox Airsoft. I'll see you guys later.